to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is Omar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast, joined by Gareth Davies. I'm very jet lagged, so if I sound a bit dazed, that's why. You're not jet lagged though, are you, Gareth? You've been busy.
Well, you don't know that yet. I could have been to Timbuktu and back, couldn't I? Yeah. You don't sound. Well, you're always a little bit dazed, if I'm honest. But no, you don't sound jet lagged. It's. I think it's an internal feeling rather than not. But I know the feeling. I've been there probably. Oh God, I can't even remember how many times. But I know that feeling where you feel like you're in an alternative universe, don't you?
A little bit. Yeah, coming back from the West Coast is the worst, probably. You
haven't slept yet. You haven't slept yet properly, no?
Not a proper sleep, no. I might. Hopefully, I don't fall asleep during this Zoom. I'm sure you're going to keep me entertained.
Yeah, we'll just carry on talking, and you can do it till 40 minutes, or however long it lasts. I'll just keep blathering on. But there are more important matters in hand than us facing jet lag, aren't there? You know.
Absolutely. Only the matter of the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. So I've got back yesterday and I've seen all over social media, it looks like the fight's off really, due to some of Alex Krassyuk's comments. We've just seen a video from Tyson Fury literally 20 minutes ago saying that 70-30 is the split he's willing to offer Oleksandr Usyk. Thoughts on that?
Well, I've seen the video as well myself. I've spoken to Oleksandr Krassyuk today and to Frank Warren. I've done an Umar special, an IFL TV Umar special with Alex Krassyuk that's going out shortly anyway. You can't absolutely say for certain that the fight is off in this moment that we're speaking, but it looks like it's headed into a downward slope. Oleksandr Krassyuk's leaving the UK today after 4 days here. Clearly been negotiating with Queensberry. Bob Arum's been very silent. Don't know if you managed to catch up with him when you were in Vegas.
No.
You see? And they are obviously clearly trying to get it over the line. But as you rightly say, this video has just come out from Tyson Fury where he's saying it's 70-30. You're asking me, is that justified? In his eyes, it is. But as a result of what the fight would make on April the 29th at Wembley Stadium, it's clearly not enough for the other side. He is the A side in this. He does bring the numbers. I don't think Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois will be at the copper box, by the way. But he's fully entitled to ask for what he wants to ask for. Athletically, and in terms of Oleksandr Usyk holding the 3 belts, he probably isn't asking the right price. But the majority of fans will be coming to Wembley Stadium for Tyson Fury. In a Corinthian spirit, we all want Fury to say, yeah, let's just do 50-50. And let's just get the undisputed heavyweight title match. An amazing occasion here for Usyk and Fury. The heavyweight championship of the world, but he's not going to budge on it, I don't think, Fury. I think that's his price, and I don't think he's going to move, and that's why he's come out. He's been very silent for about a week or two, or a week and a half, and that's clearly a message. It might be his final message on that fight for now.
In that video, he definitely was trying to make a point about that Daniel Dubois fight and what lies ahead for Oleksandr Usyk if this fight with Fury doesn't happen. As you said, it probably won't be the copper box. I'm sure that's an 0-2 fight with Usyk and Dubois. But I guess
or a stadium, or even a stadium fight.
Is it stadium fight?
Yeah, they could do it in a small stadium. Maybe it's not. I haven't really digested it all yet because we're not there yet. But like you say, it's an O2 arena fight in principle, and it's not going to generate, let's say, more than a few million.
Yeah, I think that's his point. It's either, even if it's 70-30 split, make what, 10 to 20 million dollars with me, or go and make $2 million in your next fight. Is that the point he's trying to make?
Yeah, well, that's why he hasn't budged. That's why we haven't got this fight over the line. That's why, you know, you were out in Saudi with Tyson Fury. We wondered whether there'd been discussions there as well. Has that impinged on the thinking here as well? When I spoke to Krasiuk earlier, and it's not a secret, they were talking about 2 fights, one here and one in the Middle East later on in the year. I think they will end up, if they both win their fights now, if they don't fight each other, they will end up fighting each other in the Middle East later on in the year. November, that's what Krasiuk told me. As for, they've had to make contingencies. The point is, Tyson Fury fought in April and then in December, didn't he? Even though we expect him to win. Usyk hasn't fought since August last year, wasn't it? If I think, I was there doing the covering it. Was it August last year?
September,
It was
August.
I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I want to say August, but maybe it was September. But that's a long time ago. He needs to get back in the ring. That's why they're talking about alternatives now. In order, I think it's in order of mandatories. I think he's got Dubois. No, it might be Flip Hrgovic Dubois, or Dubois Hrgovic, and then Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce obviously slated to face Zhili Zhang first, but that's the order. And so they've clearly been talking about the Dubois fight behind the scenes as well. But if you're in Fury's stick or twist or bust mind right now, he's going, I'm fine. I've had 2 fights. I want this fight on my terms. I believe I'm the A side. I'm the biggest star. Let's see what you go and generate then if you fight with someone else, as he kind of alluded to today, or said it outright. But it's not right in principle. But this is the stage now where it's not about legacy particularly. It's about the biggest fights and the biggest money and the end game. I think it's a travesty if they don't meet right now, by the way. I think it would have been an amazing event. I think we're running out of time. It wouldn't surprise me if it's over by the end of the weekend and they say it's off, but we're going to renegotiate it for later in the year. But no one's saying it's officially off at the moment, you know, because they're still allowing it that breathing space, Umar. But can I just finish on that, because I want to be clear about this. I don't agree. I agree with Tyson Fury having his price, but come on, move the margins slightly. Let's have this fight. As Krasiuk said to me earlier, look, Tyson's loved by the fans. He said, you know him as well as I do. I do. But Fury's talked about giving back to the fans. Give back to the fans now. Just take the fight. Do the fight. But maybe there's an end game. There's a big power-broking chess match going on here. I'm the bigger name, da-da-da-da-da. And it's a shame. Usyk needs it more than Fury right now. But I believe Fury, to be a great in this era, he needs a victory over Usyk and over Joshua. Even though you might not agree with me on that, he still needs a victory over both to leave this era. Because he's got to. I think he's got to be. If Joshua comes back and he smashes Franklin on April the 1st, beats Dillian White or doesn't fight Dillian White, and he's back and resurgent. Do you not want to see Fury against Anthony Joshua? Do you not want the event?
From an event point of view, but I think there's only one fight to make at the moment. That's Fury Usyk.
Yeah, and Fury is pricing himself out of it by saying, "This is my price. This is it. Accept this or do not." But it's a shame when they faced off together on December the 3rd last year. On that corner of the ring, and they'd actually been talking about having this fight all the way from back last summer. So, you know, but this is what happens in heavyweight boxing and in boxing and in negotiations, and it's always gone on like this. Some guys in control in lots of ways, and they are in control because of their standing. They don't care what some of the fans critique, and I think a lot of the Tyson Fury fans right now would like him to take this fight.
Does this feel like a bit of a deadline day scenario when you get clubs trying to pinch a player from another club, and no one wants to budge. And it seems like from Tyson's side, it's 70-30, from Usyk's side, 50-50 or 60-40 to the winner. But surely when it gets to the last sort of final day, which could well be today or tomorrow or Sunday, that someone's going to have to budge and a deal gets over the line. That could happen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would write a piece in the Telegraph now. If I thought the fight was definitely off, I would write it now. But I cannot be absolutely certain in this moment. My instinct is this fight isn't going to happen. We've got too close to April the 29th. They can still sell it out. There's not a question about that. It's still massive. It still does. Even if they hastily arranged a couple of press conferences, and I think it still does 1 million pay-per-view buys, it maybe even more. I mean, I think there's a lot of interest in it. They sell the place out. There's no question about it. How long they hold on to it being penciled in, I don't know. What that costs, I don't know. But instinctively, I don't think it will happen now. But it's definitely not 100% off in this moment.
What did you make of Krasic's offer of 60-40 to the winner? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I've raised that with him. I've never heard it in a big negotiation like this, but he said they did it in the Super Series. But this isn't the Super Series, and it's a nice gambit, but I don't think it works in this scenario. And just take 60-40, not to the winner, but take 60-40. Look, it's him saying, you don't believe that you beat Usyk as convincingly as you're telling us all you do, because he's called him a middleweight and the rabbit and all these things, which is actually quite mild for Tyson Fury, isn't it? Insulting opponents. But, it's Krasiuk playing some mind games in that way. And, that's all they're doing. They're saying, look, we believe we can beat you. And I think he is a tricky opponent for Tyson Fury. He is a tricky opponent. Fury might have to fight him in a different kind of way than he is at the moment. Usyk can win rounds against him. There's a lot of torso for Usyk to aim at. Is Fury carrying an injury at the moment? Etc., etc., etc. We don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's disappointing. It's disappointing that this isn't going ahead, especially as it was disappointing we didn't get Joshua and Fury last year, even though instinctively, again, it was hard to see that getting over the line with Joshua taking that fight, really, at that time, because he needed to rebuild, clearly. And then apart from that, the fight, the two fights we thought we were going to get from Fury and Joshua 2.5 years ago, that was derailed by what we enjoyed, which was the Wilder fights. So, we are where we are.
Last one on this. We know Usyk's immediate future if this fight doesn't happen, Daniel Dubois, or if Daniel's still injured, then Filip Hrgović, IBF, will be next. What does Tyson Fury do? I mean, to my mind, straight away comes maybe Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder in a fourth fight. I don't know. What do you think?
He doesn't need to fight right now.
So when does he wait till? The summer?
Wherever he wants. Wherever he wants. He could wait for Anthony Joshua to face Jermaine Franklin on April the 1st and fight him in the late summer at Wembley. What's to stop that? Massive fight. I still don't think... I mean, Eddie Hearn has teased Anthony Joshua facing Tyson Fury. I mean, we're all watching the chess pieces when we say these things, aren't we? We're seeing how the chess pieces move, who wins, and you're just putting the frames together, 2 or 3, 4 fights ahead. And Eddie Hearn had teased that Anthony Joshua could fight Tyson Fury at the end of the year. That was if Tyson Fury had beaten Oleksandr Usyk. But what's to say that they don't actually end up doing a deal between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury late in the summer for the WBC title?
Joyce could be ready for the summer as well after April 15th. Yeah.
But the big money fight is still Fury and Joshua. That's a huge money fight. And at this stage where these guys are, Fury says he's not about legacy. I think he is. I think he is to a certain extent. And I think that's influenced by his boxing family and how they believe their standing wants to be in the in the sport, in the game. But he's in a very strong position, even though we don't agree with what he's doing. I mean, I don't. I mean, you think he should be taking the fight now, don't you?
Who's that? Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that has to happen, Fury and Usyk.
What are the fans saying, Umar, is the right split then, in your view?
From what I've seen, I think 60-40.
Yeah, that's right. That is
Tyson.
right.
Yeah,
that's what we should go to. Not for the winner, but 60-40.
No, just regardless of the outcome, 60-40 to Tyson. Yeah.
Without Fury, Usyk's brilliant. He's an amazing elite boxer. The sad thing is we've got both of these guys in their very late prime. Yeah, their late prime, not their early prime. They're in their late prime, both undefeated, all 4 belts. It's just such a pity if we don't see those two fight, period.
Just to close off away from this, just get a comment, just a single comment, because I don't want to drag this out for too long, about Conor Benn's interview with Piers Morgan. What did you make of it?
Well, I commented on very few outlets at the time because I thought it was very sad to see him talk about his mental health issues. It always is with anyone, you know. I always feel empathy for people when they don't feel well and all those kind of things. And when I've just spent some time with Billy Dibb, which was amazing, by the way. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. That he's overcome cancer. I don't know if people don't know that, but go out and support his book. I think it's called From the Heart. It's just coming out. Actually, let me just correct that. It's called An Amazing Conversation with Him. Sorry to digress.
No, great news about Billy. We found that the other day.
He's out of cancer. His cancer's in remission. Let me just find the book here again. A True Heart.
A True Heart.
There it is. Yeah. There it is, A True Heart. There's Billy there. Congratulations to him, and what a fighter he is. He just had his biggest fight. Well, I thought some of the interview, as I say, fundamentally, I felt for him as a person, genuinely. But this saying the boxing board can do one, I just don't agree with that, and I think, he needs to take his case to the Boxing Board of Control and just have his hearing. It's not it. His story is bigger than just his now, because you can't just eschew the testing system. It's an inherently dangerous sport. I always go back to the cradle of this. This is an inherently dangerous sport. People fight each other and can be legally killed in the ring. So you need a performance-enhancing drug testing system that is effective and real, because people do get hurt in boxing, even if people aren't testing positive. So they shouldn't be enhanced in that way. I don't think he should be able to just get a license somewhere else without a hearing and just fight Manny Pacquiao, whatever's happening, this June announcement. So I thought it was disappointing in that respect. And that was the only new thing, that he just isn't going to do anything with the Boxing Board of Control. What was your take on it?
I guess the main point, that people were making, and Piers did ask this several times throughout the interview, is if you've created a document clearing yourself, why would you just not hand that into the board? And I guess Conor was saying due to pride because of the misconduct charges. But I guess that's the burning question from that interview, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly, that he's not having his hearing. And obviously that document would go before the board if he had a hearing with them. And also, of course, he's questioning the veracity of the VADA tests and the order of them and those kind of things. And that needs examining in a commission, not by a sanctioning body, who didn't exonerate him over the VADA things, because they've said, no, we are believing what VADA have done. We have no issue with that. But the WB said, WBC said, we've seen your nutritional intake and clomiphene could have been caused by eggs. But then he said, but that wasn't my defence though. So it's a right royal mess. Listen, he may be innocent and it may play out that way, but the other side of it is the testing system needs to be in place, and it's almost like it's just being ignored here, you know?
Well, that was a pretty heavy conversation on two topics that, you know, not very positive in boxing, but hopefully we can get some resolution on this Fury Usyk situation soon, and then I'm sure we'll have another catch up, Gareth. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Go on, mate. Bye.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.